What's up, everybody? Welcome to the broadcast. My name's Todd and you are watching Digging Life. On today's episode, we're going to be using the Cat 289 skid steer and the Cat 309CR excavator. The challenge for today is to turn this section of old logging road. Right now it's just got cobble, topsoil, wood chips from the mulching we did on the other day, and a super wet, swampy, muddy area. What have we got to turn it into? This. That's the first section that we've done. Actually, the first section is at the very beginning. This was section number 2, and section number 3 is the final stretch. That's not a finished road. That is just pre-graded, almost ready for gravel. It needs the fine grade put on it. We're gonna rough grade and hopefully finish grade both of these sections today. Step number 1. Get as much of this brush out of here as we can. We'll tote it with that skid steer. I'm just going to throw it out here on the road and we'll haul it a little bit at a time. I bet that's too long. Yep. I thought I had all of them about the same length. I'll get this stuff all lined up and then we'll haul some loads up to the top. The main reason that I'm wanting to move this brush pile up to the top, number 1, I can mulch and work on that on a day it's raining. Today, sun's out, it's warm, we need to be doing some dirt work. All of this hillside I've got to rake off and take all that organic material, and what I'm gonna do, I have a low depression here, I'm just gonna throw all that down here. So since it is organic and it's a topsoil, it'll be able to grow grasses, weeds, whatever else it needs to prevent erosion when this creek does come out of its banks. And the higher this is and the higher the roadbed, the safer it'll be. We got all that wood moved up to the top. Now, let's start excavating this bank out. Topsoil's down. Let's clean it up and then we'll be able to pull that hillside down and build up behind our wall. I'll get you guys repositioned here in a minute. You can see what I'm doing is pulling material out of the bank, and I'll just pull as much as I need to build this road up, and then at the very end, once I've got the road built the way I want, I'll go back with my grading bucket and slope it off. What I'm gonna do right now is rake this ground with my grapple. And that'll help me gather up any roots and stuff that's in the clay. And you can see it actually does a pretty good job of smoothing things out. just gonna kind of dress things as I go. What I want to do is select my grade I want and just start cutting in. I'm gonna dump dirt out, run over it to compact it because I don't want it to get too deep before I start compacting. And then rinse and repeat. Here in a second I'll be able to go all the way down here. Right about there's where I want to be. Got a big old amount of extra clay there to the right, as you guys can see. I had a soft spot right here that's just not wanting to compact for me, so I'm trying to dig it back out. I think it's where a stump was at. I'll probably put some riprap through here because this is going to be the corner that takes the most beating from storms. It's got to be tough. Super, super tough. Blocks. I'm actually covering these blocks right here. I'm going to build this area up a lot. And what's going to happen, all that just junk dirt that I piled on the front side of my wall initially is going to eventually wash away, and she's going to be left with a real pretty block wall. Right now it's more of a placeholder than anything. Is working my way down in here where I had to cut this drainage ditch and fill it back in and compact it as I go to make this wide corner to be able to get trucks up in here when she needs new gravel, which I'm hoping will be very rare as good as we're going to build this thing. You guys have been following this, you'll notice this is getting to be a lot more gradual of a slope. It's not near as aggressive as it once was. I'm satisfied with that for right now. That clay, when it comes out of the bank, it's almost seems super dry, but the more you work it, the more it gets more like Play-Doh. So I've roughed it up. I'm just gonna let it set and dry while I pull all these stumps out down through here, and then we'll start stripping all that topsoil. Alright, so got those logs cut up. I'm going to be able to clean all this mud out of here today. Look at this groundwater coming in under this stump. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a riprap backfill, I think. That just all turned to mush. So definitely going to be some Class B brought in. Let's strip all this mud off and see what we end up with. I wish y'all could see. there are thousands of tiny mosquitoes that have hatched out. They are eating me up. Y'all can see where a swamp thing got mad at me for messing his swamp up, throwing mud at me. It's inconsiderate is what it was. Plumb inconsiderate. So what I've got to do is get all these logs over here to this side gone, because over there's where I'm gonna pile all the mud up. Mud. It's not mud, it's mud. Oh, a little bit of a glare, but trust me, y'all don't want me fooling with them blame mosquitoes out there. Ain't got no bug spray today. I got my taste and feel of them out there running the saw, which I have to admit, running a chainsaw is probably one of my favorite pieces of equipment. By a long shot. The street is dead, but still pretty solid. Alright, got that bunch of logs lined up. I'm gonna go throw my grapple on, move them, move those stumps. I don't think where it's at. Nah, there's a hole there, a bunch of mud. That stump right there's that big dead one. I hadn't been able to get the other big one out just yet. I gotta get all that mud out of the way. But we'll see. All right, friends, this project kind of took a turn for the worst, where I was taking that stump out and down that way where water's collected over so long. It is about 2 feet deep of just mud and groundwater. So the alternative, I've dug it out, but now we've got low areas where we're actually almost below grade of the creek, and any water is going to want to drain that way. So as you can see, I've climbed up on the bank here, and I'm digging out from the bank and building my road up on a higher ground that's more stable. I'll just do a quick few minutes of what I'm doing, and you guys will get the gist of it. Let's proceed. What I'm doing is making a cut right down where the road is actually going to go. And what's important is that we compact as we go. We can't let it get too deep. Otherwise it'll be spongy, spongy, spongy. Which this dirt's spongy anyway. I'll see what I can do. This berm on my left, I'll ride my tracks up on that until I'm level, like this, and then I just push the road in. Once I get to a low area, I dump out, back up. This will be a lot easier with a bulldozer, but I don't own one, so we're gonna make do with what we have. By getting the road built up on the high side, all this dirt will be able to dry out really well. Hopefully I'll still be able to get gravel in on this. I'm hoping Wednesday. Getting me that time of day, it's hard for me to see in my rear camera. Now I'm backing up, so bear with me. dig out this bank and we'll get more dirt from there. It's got sticks and twigs and stuff in it. I don't want to use that particularly. I got the dirt. Just got to put it in the right places. I might take the excavator and dig all that bad dirt out. See all that mess ahead of me? No good. So I'm cutting this bank out here. Then just move it out. If it's real doughy looking, I'm probably going to discard it. Work it out with the excavator. I just gotta get to higher ground. That's the main thing. Well, I've hit a pretty good snag down here, friends. Let's check it out. The problem that herein lies starts here. There's water coming out of that bank. This area, when I take my bucket and stick it down in there, it goes about 2 feet deep. Extremely soft, but this up here is pretty firm. You can see groundwater pushing up and out of here. That's not good, and that means the ground is completely saturated. So this spring has really worked this area over. Hey, like that. We'll have a pond, salt water. We'll have a pond in here before long. That stump is in my way. So what I'm gonna have to do, obviously, is get this draining. And getting that big joker out of there is a huge part of making that happen. And then we've got to cut a drain line down through here to this corner. And then I'm gonna have to cut a drain line over there and just let all this drain for a bit. Might take a minute. And this big clown's about to go round for round. Come on, you big joker. Oh Lord, that's a monster. Come on. Daddy's ready to go home and play with his baby. Have to walk it out of there, I guess. Come on. Oh boy. Shoot, thank God. She's moving. If it gets a suction on this mud though, we may have a problem. That joker left a hole, didn't he? Well, I gotta get out of this mud. Well, I will be successful. Main thing is get that stump out of the hole, cut a drainage line. Once I do that, I can call it a day. Otherwise, these super expensive cat lights are going to be put to work today. Come on, big boy. Come on. Get up. Let's get down here and and get some drainage going, which is fun. Pulling stumps, not fun. Drainage, fun. As long as I don't get stuck. If I get stuck, no more fun. So look at the size of this hole. That's ridiculous. Let's see what we're about to be up against here. Oh, it ain't too bad. See how hard the bottom is though, that's good. I don't mind that. That's pretty soft. Alright, here we go. May we not get stuck. The key is to go fast and with a purpose. Go. Come on. Made it. I can move these again tomorrow. Got a guy coming to pick them up on Wednesday. Telling you, this 309 is one stout son of a gun. All right, now see, the creek right here is actually above where this water line is now. In order to get this thing to drain any good at all, really, I've got to go all the way down to probably here, I think. Bunch of rocks right there. Yeah, I think I'll be satisfied with that. Get this sucker draining. Let's see. I bet all this water, for the most part, is coming from over here. So let's just temporarily do this. Displace that water. If I could, I wish this thing had smell-o-vision, just so you guys could enjoy what I am right now. I'm getting ready to drive back through there, but I just want to kind of see what I've got as far as roots and all that good stuff. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna get this draining pretty good. That is tough. Now see, if I back into this right now, that blade is gonna be like an anchor and I'll be stuck. So you need, anytime you go into a mud hole, if you're gonna go in one, it's best not to, but if you have to, go in blade first and go straight through it. This is gonna be hard. We'll pipe this probably tomorrow. We just gotta get it under control. First. That's about a 3/4 inch hole right there. And it'll probably be running like that. It may be running like that in the morning. If it's a steady spring head. And I think what we're gonna have to do, sorry about the shakiness, my GoPro died. I'll just have to line this ditch with riprap to stabilize it. And this will all just have to run, but this is why this swampy area exists. And I've still gotta go all the way up to there. There's probably a couple of springs in here. It'll be neat to see when I get done. I had to swing down here and get my chaps and chainsaw, but we'll stop and let you guys see what I had to do here. So that's the road we've been entering in. This is gonna be the new entrance. I might have to install culvert pipe from there, but look at that flow. Just look at that groundwater. Is that not amazing? Absolutely amazing. We got water up there. It's probably from that mud though. Whew. Man, what a job. What a job. This is the kind of stuff you have to keep in mind when you're bidding on these jobs, especially in these mountains. There was no indicator to me that there would be springs in here, but luckily, mentally I'm prepared for this kind of thing. What I did, that was just that big stump hole. I just pulled mud into it, and the weight of that mud is going to force the water down here into where this is. The entrance to the culvert's going to be up there. It's going to run out, and all that water is going to run underground. I mean, it is a mess. A mess, I tell you. Let's see if I can find where that spring shot out on me. There's a heavy spring right there. Look at this area draining now. It's going to turn out nice. And this is almost kind of sandy. I think it'll dry up pretty quick. I may have to let it set for a week. I hate to say that, but that may be the case. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm having an absolutely fantastic time doing this project for this customer. When you get into projects like this, especially if you guys are new to this, don't let something like this discourage you. If you've underbid it and you get into something like this, finish the job. No matter what it takes, finish the job. You will complete it. You may have to make a phone call or two, but reach out to somebody that's been in this business. Get their advice, finish the job, learn from it, move on to the next one. We love you guys. Comment springs, because we are loaded down with springs here. If you're new to the channel, be sure to consider subscribing. Who knows, you may enjoy the next video too. Touch that like button. Doesn't cost you a thing. Helps me out tremendously. Yet again, we love you, and we will see you on the next one.